So you think the Great Depression was about some bad luck with the stock market, huh? You'd think it was just, what do they call it, an economic downturn, some kind of accident. Let me tell you something, and keep your voice down when I'm talking here. That's the story they want you to believe. But between you and me, the whole thing was a bust out, a con job, the biggest heist in American history. And I'm going to tell you exactly how they pulled it off. Capisce? Picture this. It's 1929, the roaring 20s. Everybody's making money. The stock market's going up, up, up. Jazz clubs, speakeasies, dames, dough everywhere. But see, when everybody's getting fat, when everybody thinks the party's never going to end, that's when the bosses make their move. This wasn't a market crash, friend. This was a turf war. And the little guy got whacked. Now, the papers back then, same as now, they're telling everybody, oh, it's just a correction. The market got a little overheated. These things happen. Nothing to worry about. The feds, the bankers, all the suits on Wall Street, they're all saying the same thing. Prosperity is just around the corner. Have confidence. Keep buying. President Hoover himself, this guy's supposed to be looking out for the people, right? He goes on the radio and says everything's fine. That's the story they sell to the mooks, the official version. But you didn't come here for the official version, did you? Let me tell you what really happened between you and me. The whole thing, it's a fugazi, a fairy tale. The fix was in from the start. Look me in the eye. See, in the 20s, the game was rigged. The banks, the five families of finance, they figured out a beautiful little racket. They'd lend you money to buy stocks. You didn't need to put up the full amount. You could buy $100 worth of stock with only $10 of your own scratch. They called it buying on margin. I call it loan sharking. Now, this works great when the market goes up, right? Everybody's happy. Everybody's getting a taste. But here's the thing about the VIG. It always comes due. These banks, they knew exactly what they were doing. They got millions of regular schmoes, factory workers, teachers, shopkeepers, all of them borrowing money to play the market. And when the time was right, they pulled the rug out. You didn't hear this from me? Yeah. Hold on, I'm in the middle of something here. I'm telling about 29. Yeah, that job. I'll call you back. Where was I? So October 1929 rolls around. Black Thursday, Black Tuesday. You know the dates. All of a sudden, the big boys, the real players, they start selling. And when they sell, everybody panics. The market's crashing. People are trying to get out. But here's the problem. Remember all that money they borrowed? The banks want it now. They're calling in the debts. They want their VIG. But nobody's got any cash, see? Because all their money was in the market. And the market just went down the toilet. So what happens? The banks start taking everything. Your house, your car, your business, everything you own gets seized. That's the squeeze, friend. And it wasn't just the stock players. Regular people with regular savings. The banks started failing. 9,000 banks went belly up. 9,000, 9,000. Your grandpa's life savings, gone. Poof. Like it never existed. Capiche? By 1933, a quarter of the country's got no job, no prospects, nothing. Breadlines stretching around the block. Families living in shanty towns. Kids going hungry. And you know what the bosses did? They walked away with the envelope, all of it. The big banks, the insiders, the connected guys, they shorted the market on the way down. They bought up real estate for pennies. They consolidated power. They took the cannoli and left you with the gun. The biggest heist in history. And they got away with it clean. Now, come closer. You're probably thinking, Tony, that was a long time ago. Ancient history. Don't affect me. Wrong. Here's the setup they don't want you to figure out. Everything that happened after the Depression, all the programs, all the agencies, all the protection money you pay every single week, that all came from 1929. Social Security, that's your money going into a system you'll never see the full return on. That's the skim. 6.2% right off the top of your paycheck. Every time. No exceptions. FDIC insurance. Sounds good, right? Oh, your money's protected up to $250,000. Yeah, but who pays when a bank goes under? You do. Through fees, through taxes, through inflation. And the Federal Reserve, after the Depression, They got more power than any mob boss ever dreamed of. They can print money. They can set interest rates. They can make or break entire industries with a phone call. And every time they print more money to save the economy, your dollars become worth less. That's called the juice, friend. And you're paying it every single day without even knowing it. The Great Depression taught the suits that they could own everything. The banks, the government, the whole system. And the little guy just keeps paying the vig. You didn't hear this from me, but that's the truth. Look, I'm going to level with you here. The game's still rigged. Always has been. Always will be. But the difference between the mooks and the made men know the rules. They don't play with borrowed money. They don't trust the suits. They keep their assets liquid. They don't put all their eggs in one basket. You want protection in this world? You got to understand how the racket works. You got to see the con before it happens. And that's what I do here. I break it down for you. No sugarcoating, no fairy tales, just the real story. Now, if what I told you today opened your eyes a little bit, if you see the world a little clearer now, I want you to hit that like button. Think of it as a show of respect, a way of saying, Tony, I appreciate you letting me in on the game. And subscribe to this channel. Consider it joining the family. You'll get the inside story on every con job the banks and the government are running on you. Because the next crash, the next bust out, it's coming. And when it does, you're going to want to be on the right side of it. Capiche? Now get out of here. And remember, we never had this conversation.